Have you ever wondered the effects of EMF radiation, or even the definition of EMF radiation itself, and the effects it has on health, on humans, and also for the reasons why it exists in the first place? Well, also, I'm going to give you the three reasons why you should reduce EMF radiation. First of all, what is EMF radiation? EMF radiation is an invisible energy generated whenever electronic devices are used. The main types of frequency is called radio frequency (RF), which is a non-ionizing radiation that is used mainly for mobile phones, laptops, tablets, and other technological devices. Non-ionizing radiation is described as a series of energy waves composed of oscillating electric and magnetic fields traveling at the speed of light. Non-ionizing radiation includes the spectrum of ultralight, UV light, visible light, infrared IR light, microwave MW light, radio frequency RF, and extremely low frequency ELF radiation. As the effects of radio frequency used for mobile phones, laptops, tablets is said mainly causes only tissue heating. As the average Google search says, the daily exposure to Wi-Fi signals, blue light, and other electronic devices in people's homes are apparently too low to cause serious harm to someone's health. But is that even true? Well, I'm going to tell you that there's a lot more bigger problems than that. And the problem involves the evolutionary mismatch and non-thermal risks. The primary problem is that most life for the past 3.8 billion years has lived under a very narrow spectrum of electromagnetic spectrum of light, which is visible light, such as sunlight, and also darkness from the lack of sunlight during the nighttime. And the only sunlight from the nighttime will occur either through the moonlight itself or either through the creation of fire, which wasn't even present until thousands of years ago, which is not too long ago if you're going to compare it to 3.8 billion years since the Earth has existed. And also it involved, small amounts of infrared and ultraviolet light, which came from sunlight as well. But now modern technology and modern day life has introduced non-native EMFs, such as Wi-Fi, cell signals such as 4G, 5G, and Bluetooth, that operate in octaves. As our biology is not even evolved, it hasn't even understood the actual consequences of the effects of these types of radiation. Furthermore, current safety guidelines are often criticized for only addressing thermal effects, while failing to actually account for the non-thermal biological effects that occurs inside the actual body itself, and the effects it has on cells as well, as we'll get into that. The reasons why EMF radiation actually affects our health is because it disrupts our biological semiconductors. The reason behind why EMFs are harmful centers on the idea that our bodies are not chemical systems but semiconductors, and that causes molecular chaos. Introducing artificial frequencies require precise ionic gradients to produce energy such as ATPase. Non-native EMFs can disrupt the flow of electrons, leading to cellular brownouts or burnouts as a reference, as it also affects the water structure. Apparently 70% of the body is water for most people, which is which in biology forms a highly structured exclusion zone, EZ water, essential for electron flow, as non-EMF can destabilize the structure of water inside the body, actual inside of the mitochondria as well, leading to reduced cellular redox potential and increased oxidative damage, such as inflammation, the increase of free radical atoms inside our body, which causes inflammation to occur itself. as it also causes calcium ion resonance, or the increase of calcium, as EMF has been shown to open voltage gated calcium channels, causing an excess influx of calcium into the cells, which triggers a cascade of stress markers and increases the chances of having free radicals inside of your body. As the effects of EMF to our bodies itself involves disrupting our metabolic health and also even the cause of diabetes, as high EMF radiation can be linked to blood sugar spikes and increase in our insulin resistance. It can trigger the Warburg metabolism, where the body uses sugar inefficiently, potentially leading to diabetes and obesity. The other effect is the high probability of cancer, as the International Agency Research on Cancer classifies wireless radiation as a Group 2B possible carcinogen, including National Toxicology Program (NTP) have found clear evidence of malignant heart tumors and brain tumors in laboratory animals exposed to RF radiofrequency radiation that is used for everyday technological devices that humans use and people use in general in today's society. As it also affects our reproductive health, including chronic exposure, is associated with reduced sperm quality and the reduce of eggs inside of females, including decreased motility, viability, and count. Neurological and circadian rhythm disruption occurs as well with artificial blue light and with EMF from screens destroys melanin and melatonin, disrupting sleep and circadian rhythms, which was also linked to HDH, brain fog, anxiety, and dementia, all caused from a lack of sleep. Um, Also, EMF affects the actual barrier of the blood-brain barrier, compromising that, and also the gut barrier as well, because the brain barrier and the gut barrier is connected together. The ways to solve this mainly comes from having mitigation strategies. This includes distancing yourself from RF or just EMF radiation itself, keeping devices off your body, not using Bluetooth, staying far away from Wi-Fi signals, or even using like a Faraday cage. So, Faraday cage is a set of metals that are used to essentially block EMF radiation, and it can be used as a bag. It can be used as an actual cage itself or a box that you can put devices or the Wi-Fi signal to ensure that that EMF radiation doesn't emit constantly, because of the constant need for the Wi-Fi signal to constantly emit towards nearby power stations and Wi-Fi stations in wherever you're living. It basically stops those signals from leaching into your body itself. Also, hardwiring connections, so replacing Wi-Fi with Ethernet cables. So you can still have a Wi-Fi box, but you need to basically use Ethernet cables, so the hardwired long cables. Obviously, that can be used for computers. You can use for TVs, and you can also use it for phones, which involves buying a few adapters for your phone. Probably only cost maybe £10 or £20. So that's like what, maybe $20 or $30 maximum, and that will massively reduce um, the wireless signal. It'll reduce and eliminate the wireless signals that are emitted through your phones and through your Wi-Fi, through your devices. Also, getting rid of Bluetooth headphones and Bluetooth earphones and using wired earphones. So I've recently gotten rid of my Bluetooth headphones and I've replaced it with uh, earphones. I'm not too sure what they are right now, but they're just Apple wired earphones. So you can just get the one with the jack, with like the normal kind of jack connection. But you can also buy an adapter. So you can buy like a small little adapter which has the circle part for the jack to connect with the wired earphones, and then you can also have the round kind of new iPhone connection adapter, what you call it. So you can actually connect your phone to your earphones, which are wired, of course, and that massively reduces the radiation by, I believe, by 100 times, or at least by 100 times, I think. So that will massively, save your brain from being irradiated constantly, daily. To be honest, because most people use AirPods, most people use Bluetooth, and they've actually gotten rid of iPhone, and most devices, most phones have actually gotten rid of the ability to use a jack connection to listen to your phone, listen to music or whatever you want to listen to. Hopefully, my videos as well. Environmental control, that also means turning off your Wi-Fi, unplugging your devices, and turning off your power plugs. Also, this will allow your parasympathetic nervous system to sync with the Earth's magnetic field. Well, I say it works. That helps, but to connect to the Earth's magnetic field, you actually need to ground. You actually need to ground to grass that doesn't have electric pipes or electric signals or electric wiring that will cause you to have any positive energy, because grounding actually allows you to get a negative energy, and negative and also allows you to have a flow of protons that will keep your body from spinning your vortexes inside your body, which I'll make a video about soon, in terms of magnetism and the Earth's magnetic field, and how that affects uh, our health in the human body and mammals, to be honest, because they're heavily coupled with the Earth's magnetic field. As turning off the Wi-Fi and unplugging stuff will massively just reduce your electricity bill, but also actually reduce the probabilities of your body from being exposed to EMF radiation and positive charge that's emitted and used to power devices using the power plugs, of course. So you can switch that off and you can unplug those devices as well before you go to sleep, just to ensure that you can actually sleep better, and you can actually reduce the amount of EMF radiation and frequencies that are foreign and are not visible light. They're not UV light or red light that comes from the sunlight, as we want to kind of reduce as much of those kind of advanced technological devices and effects of it, because for most part of humans' lives, we've never been exposed to these devices until the last, I'd say, maybe 100 years, or even less than that. Um, Also, you can actually improve your light hygiene. So, prioritizing natural sunlight or prioritizing cold exposure, which I'll get into as well in future videos, with sunlight, with cold exposure, actually allowing your eyes, like your bare eyes, not with glasses like these, not these ones. These ones are to block blue light, which I'll get into as well in another video. But also allowing your eyes to actually see the sun or to see the sky, even though they got chemtrails where I live, which is fucking typical, especially when it's really sunny. It's at least 20 or 30 fucking chemtrails, but that's besides the point, I guess. It's not part of this video, really, but it is. Natural sunlight, which provides near infrared light, can unbind harmful nitric oxide and support the mitochondrial health as well. Using blue light blocking glasses at night, like these ones over here, and replacing LED bulbs with incandescent lights, which are actually banned in the US. So, incandescent lights are lights that adjust the actual circadian rhythm, or adjust to the sunrise and sunset of the earth itself, or where you live. As during the day, it will emit like a normal kind of similar light spectrum to visible light. Obviously, it's not natural and it's not the alternative. There's no alternative to sunlight itself. But incandescent lights are very good because at nighttime it would emit red light and purple light, which wouldn't harm your body or cause your body to still think that it's sun that is daytime, and normally it would emit like a red light. That's why red light therapy is seen as this amazing thing, because it does help people who don't get enough sun, and that actually causes people to sleep better, to not destroy the circadian rhythm, and reduce chances of them getting brain fog or anxiety, or even dementia and Alzheimer's, because of how important sleep is in general. Grounding as well. So grounding, well, it says grounding in laptops, but grounding in general will help. The main thing about grounding is that if you live in the city, you really have to, ideally, you should buy an EMF meter, like an EMF detector. It's an actual handheld device that actually kind of detects how much EMF is being irradiated, and that will tell you if the grass, if something is underneath the grass, which is that you shouldn't expose your skin to and to your feet to, because that's where you ground. That's the best way you can ground, naturally, of course. And ideally, you would have, you'll be grounding on black sand that's connected to the volcano, that has, all the magnetic influx, and is magnetically inclined, like in El Salvador or something like that, or you're close to a basalt rock, lava active volcano, like in Catania in the east city, or the east side of Sicily in Italy. Yeah, that would be ideal, but I think most people don't live in those places, so you have to ground in grass that has no pipes underneath it, no um, electric grids or electric anything really. It needs to be as natural as possible, and now allow your body to actually get um, a decent amount of magnetic flux. Um, I will talk about the actual kind of logistics and what's actually happening on the Earth in terms of the magnetic field, and with the magnetic inclination in some countries, and mainly the magnetic declination and excursion that's happening on this Earth today in 2026, and also next few years. Well, I say a few years, it'll be happening next 500 years, but yeah. Yeah, and also testing. So using the EMF meter, identifying the hidden radiation that's within your living space, that's within your places that you work, even with the parks that you deem that the grass, or where there's not a lot of EMF radiation, you'll be surprised at how much EMF radiation actually exists. So the reason why I wanted to highlight this stuff, and it wasn't the three reasons why. That title is a bit misleading. It's a lot longer than I thought it would be, but it mainly affects the mitochondria, the structure of the water mitochondria. Affects, actually causes calcification inside of your body, inside of your tissues, and also the frequency actually causes your body to the radio high amounts of radio frequency actually basically causes and increases your chances of having a very irregular spikes, sugar spikes, and insulin resistance, reduce insulin resistance that causes diabetes. It's a possible carcinogen that actually stops your cells from working properly and growing at a very irregular rate, which is cancer itself. It reduces your fertility and your ability to have children. It destroys your circadian rhythm through EMF and natural blue light as well, which is a massive topic, which I'll get into very soon. And also, it actually affects the blood brain barrier and the gut barrier, which are connected together, which may even cause and block the actual vagus nerve exhaust itself. But I haven't got into that, and I'll get into the vagus nerve as well, which is really important. Um, the reason why I want to get into this stuff is because I know I'm only going to be working towards being a personal trainer, but me understanding these things and me going through these things, and me even getting criticism and advice, and being told I'm wrong, being told I'm right on certain topics, like these ones mainly, will be very good for my development and be very good for you lot who actually know more than me, and hopefully you guys actually do know more than me. Um, I'm not getting this advice from out of the blue, but this is part of the decentralized kind of health stuff that I want to get into, of course. and actually help me and allow me to help people get body transformations if in terms of building muscle, losing fat, losing body weight, um, and that will allow me to basically start selling my products as a personal trainer in person. If it's just a program in general, even if it's online coaching, and I will be doing that. I'm saying this just to ensure that you guys understand what this channel is about. It's not really a friendly channel in terms of like, here's my life in the day. Like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. If I don't give a fuck about what I'm doing in my day in terms of actually posting and recording it like some girly, then you guys definitely need to just don't recommend me to do the day in the life stuff. Only when I get successful, only when I've actually achieved something um worthy to even post, then yeah, but otherwise please don't recommend me to do that. So I think that's everything to do with the actual effects of EMF radiation to our health. I think that'll be the actual title itself, not the three reasons. There's multiple reasons to why it affects our health. And I think that's everything, guys. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.